Okay, notable albums 2018 Extreme Metal. As ever, if you just want the music, head to the end there. Playlist will be there with all the releases on, and these lists all the time. If I've forgotten something, let me know in the comments. Okay, let's get into 2018. I bought out my first debut CD project thing in 2018. I wrote this for the Hate Wire Decade of Hate, so I put together this album for that to play more necro techno industrial stuff, I suppose. Yeah, but and then after when I got back, I was like, oh well, I might as well make an album of it, so that's what I did. Yeah, it's an interesting little foray into something different, so yeah, check it out. Okay. Also in 2018, the second Roasted album came out, Monstrous Butchery. Me and my good friend Metal Stew, who did guitar work. Yeah, it's just straightforward, sort of groovy, catchy, really low-tuned death metal. Yeah, for fans of Broken Hope, 6 Feet Under, Mortician, that sort of thing. Again, we got quite a few releases on our Bandcamp, so go and check it out if you want. Also in 2018, my good friends in Human Mycosis finally put out Pile Pillow Pink Eye, because I remember there was quite a bit of a lag between when it was first started being recorded and actually got out as a release. I believe UChem put this one out. Yeah, really decent little death metal EP, so definitely check it out. Underrated band, Human Mycosis. Carcinoma put out their EP with Split with Abyssal, and yeah, just a really cool, if you like, sort of more abstract, I don't know, dark, very dark sounding, sort of like portally death metal. Yeah, can't go wrong with the Carcinoma boys. Okay, the Meads of Asphodel put out a split, Imperial East-West Onslaught. I love what the Meads do, because they just literally do whatever they want. Yeah, and it's a really cool, unique release. Okay, moving on. Mr. Anselmo and the Illegals put out this, and he's definitely sort of dipping his toe into the sort of Portal inspirations a lot more on this one. I think the first record was better in my opinion. Phil is good at doing emulating the heavy stuff, but I don't think that's where his true power lies. I think it lies more in his ability to do so much with his vocals and all the amazing stuff he did with Pantera. There's bands that do the Portal thing much better than Phil Anselmo, so it's not a bad record by any means of matter, but I definitely preferred the first one, the first Phil and the Illegals record. Anyway, Eron Non Day, sort of like, I don't know what you call this, hardcore prog mathcore, do they call it, that sort of thing, Degent, I suppose, but yeah, actually really quite an interesting listen, that one. Ascaris, The Raised Hand. These are a really good band from the UK, very tight, awesome guys as well. Yeah, very impressive release for a first full length. They got a good EP before this as well. 2018 also brought us Crimson Throne of Void and Solitude, a good little black metal project from the UK. Barus or Barus, Drowned. This isn't quite as good as the EP before, I didn't think, but it's still a very cool record. Cenotaph or Cenotaph Obscure, right, by Obliteration. This is a really good recommendation I got from a good friend. Just sort of like black thrash, straightforward stuff, but it's done really well. Yeah, Obliteration, great band. This was actually a surprisingly good Soulfly record that came out in 2018. Ritual, much better than the last previous sort of releases. Yeah, this would be definitely towards the higher end of the discography in my opinion. Some good stuff on there. Lichgate, The Contagion in 9 Steps. Not as good as The Antidote to the Glass Pill in my humble opinion, but still a very complex and dark journey into weird time signatures and just odd sort of church organ metal music. Yes, very strange stuff. This is a really good sort of funeral doom band called Convocation. A convocation is a mass gathering of people apparently, which is a bit of a strange name for a doom band, but nevertheless the music is brilliant, very, very good. Hate Eternal, Upon Desolate Sands, very strong release from Hate Eternal. I mean, I don't really need to explain what Hate Eternal sound like too much, I shouldn't have thought. Just pure blasting, brutal death metal, pretty much. Woebegone Obscured. I'd not heard of this band, but I listened to a few tracks of this and ended up picking it up and really liked it. I think this is the last thing they did actually before they split up. But yeah, it's cool, sort of atmospheric, doomy, Black Death sort of stuff. Voracious Scourge. These guys had a very impressive lineup with Ad from Sinister on vocals, Mike Smith from Suffocation fame on drums and a few others. Very decent little EP that is. Okay, that's the first half of 2018, now on to the second half. Aura Noir, great black thrash attitude as ever from these guys. Really cool project when you're in the right mood for this sort of thing, definitely hits the spot. We've got Serox, I think that's how you pronounce it, the Phobos Demios Suite. Technical death metal, I think from South America, I could be getting that wrong. Very, very cool release. If you like your tech death, check it out. Now this is a bit of an unusual one, from the bogs of Akuska, I think that's how you say it, Akuska, mineral bearing veins. This is more like a soundscapey one, from sort of the very darkest depths of Ireland, but it's a really, really cool release. I really like this one. Haven't listened to this in a while actually, but I do really like the journey this one takes you on. Very cool. Also, I'm pretty sure that looks like Lord of the Logos logo, old Christoph. Kraken, 9 Years of Blood. Not that much of a memorable album from Kraken. I think towards the end they have a couple of a bit better tracks, but it's certainly not a bad album. But I would definitely put it around 7, sort of that 7 out of 10 area for their discography. Deicide, Overtures of Blasphemy. Don't know why there's nothing printed on that spine. There is on that side. Amazing artwork and good music, but I always felt Glenn's vocals felt a bit lackluster on this one. I know he only does the lows on this, but yeah, an okay album, an okay / good album from Deicide. I mean, Deicide are one of those bands that you put on and you forget how good some of their stuff is. Even the mid ones are pretty darn good, with the exception of 2 notable. But anyway, onwards for some Molested Divinity. I picked this up because it had the Cenotaph Voku Batu, who does vocals for Cenotaph, and I was not disappointed with the level of sheer brutality on offer here. So very cool, uber brutal release, that one. And speaking of brutal, here's Chrysian. I really like the production. The sound of this record is awesome. Scourge of the Enthroned, really natural sounding production. It's Chrysian, who are probably the most metal band on the planet. 3 brothers with relentless years of blast beats and ripping guitars behind them. Such a cool band. Yeah, and really, really underrated one in their discography, I think, this one. Really like that album. Ah, yes, Canis Flammarion, perhaps that's how it's pronounced. This is some really cool sort of death doomy stuff from Finland, I think. Really decent. Haven't listened to this in a long time either. I look forward to going back over some of these. This is really cool. It's sort of like incantation, immolation, sort of crossbreed. It's got some really cool bits in it. Psychotomy, Aphatic, I think the album's called. Surprisingly, really like this one. Yeah, really got me this one. It's nothing really new, but it just, I don't know, something about that one. Really good listen, really satisfying. Portal Ion. Now, a lot of people didn't like it when they sort of cleaned up their sound. I love this album. I think it's one of their best because the guitar work is just insane and you can really hear everything that's going on. I really like it. It's probably one of my favourite Portal releases. I get why the sort of old guard who got into them in the early days don't like it so much, but for me, I love it. Another insanely good band, Veil Burner, a band who just literally do whatever they want, and it's so cool to hear a band, especially a band of this calibre, just doing what they want and making it work as well, which is very important. Not just to be off on a random tangent, but to actually be able to bring in all these new sounds into the sort of Black Death blueprint and make it sound really unique and quite terrifying at times. Okay, Infuriate. Amazing record. If you like old Severe Torture, which I absolutely love, you will like this band. They are so good. I think unfortunately one of the members passed away after this and that was the end of the band, but yeah, if you like old Severe Torture, check out Infuriate. They're just awesome. Okay, so these are pretty much the top 3 of 2018 for me. Forest of Stars of Grave Mounds of Great Mistakes. I remember drinking lots of whiskey and listening to this album and just absolutely loving it. Really cool, unique British black metal as ever. Really cool record. Speaking of really cool records, this is definitely up there for me. This is my favourite release by them, Construct of Lethe, or Lethe. Elixir. This album is just absolutely insanely good. If you like my favourite era of Morbid Angel is Gateways Formulas, so if you like that, especially in the solo department, there is some absolute cracking stuff on here. I really like the production on this one as well. It doesn't go too brutal, it feels a bit sort of dreamy in places, and I really like that. My favourite release by them for sure. Really cool band though, and the other albums are good as well. A bit more brutal, but really good. And this had to be my favourite 2018. It's Howling Sycamore. Not really a fan of clean vocals so much in extreme metal music, but they're absolutely awesome on here. It's one of the albums that really won me over. And every time I go for a walk nowadays and I see a sycamore tree, that's all I can think of is Howling Sycamore. This whole album, start to finish, is just an absolute masterclass in amazing songwriting and album flow. Unfortunately, about a year later, they brought out another album which was not even half as good, but this one is a very close to a 10, if not a 10 out of 10 for me. This is an absolutely astonishingly good album. So that wraps up 2018. Let me know what I missed in the comments below, and I think that's about it. Playlist should be here somewhere, and I shall see you next week for 2019. Getting close to the present day now. Okay, cheers.